proud to get any better. Never, never. I learned that. I was a very young manager, and I would go find people. I'd try to find people that made me work at it. Because if you surround yourself with people that you think are not as good as you are, you're not going to advance, and you're fooling yourself. Get in your lane, find out what you love, and surround people that can make you better, and then you make them better. So anyway, ride Onpassive as hard as you can. You don't have to. I'm not talking about marketing. I never mentioned marketing. There's a way to do it where everybody can ride this magic carpet as far as they want to go. Red got kicked out.
Yeah, bring him back in.
Thank you, Chris. I wouldn't have known that if you didn't tell me. Anyway, go ahead, Red.
Thank you very much, Marty. Great words as always. Chris, nice to see you. And Marty as well. I really do enjoy 360 with you guys. Always a pleasure to be here to not only bring everyone up to date, but also to give everyone words of wisdom as well. So let's bring you up to date then with the last 7 days in Onpassive. It's been quite a big week, hasn't it, really, as far as 7 days is with what he's allowed to work. He's getting a lot better, a lot stronger. As you saw last week, he had a bit of a cold on him as well, didn't he? That he picked up. This was to do with his immune system and the drugs he was taking. But he was getting over that, he was saying. He also then talked briefly about the Onpassive journey and about how he's taken control once again. He was saying, talking to us all about what he's had to go through and all the rest of it. But the one thing and the recurring thing that keeps coming back all the time, that gets him out of bed in the morning, that keeps him strong, that keeps him pushing forward, is you guys out there, the early adopters, the affiliates, the users who are 100% behind not only the company, but more especially our CEO. Why? Because we all understand what he is trying to achieve here. And that's what really does it for him. This is why he has taken back control, because he was telling us a little bit that we were getting a bit offline, a bit sidetracked with other things within Onpassive. And he wanted to bring this basically back to the basics of what he first wanted to do. And it was great to see, great to hear that this is now on track, that he implemented this a while ago. And he was saying that it's not been easy, and it's certainly not going to be a quick fix, but we are moving in the right direction. He also said all that matters is that you guys are proud of what he is trying to achieve here. And I think we'll all agree here that we certainly are. He mentioned a little bit about the payment processors that we will be seeing these flicking in and out of over the next few weeks. They're still testing bits and pieces. I'm sure if we see him, he'll update us a little bit more on all of that as well. But one thing he did reiterate and made quite clear was that if you are one of the early adopters or affiliates that haven't yet activated their accounts by purchasing OConnect, which is our first paid product, then do so, because you will still be part of, I suppose, the first group of people that are going to be within Onpassive as far as any extras is concerned, I think is the correct wording for that. And he made that very clear. If you could afford to, activate your accounts when you can with the new payment processors so that we could test them as well. He also did reiterate once again that we will not be going to the next stage of Onpassive until all of that backlog, logjam of commissions that people have requested are all cleared out. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of other bits and pieces as well. But it was great to see him. It was great for him to update us of where we are, what is going on. And obviously, the site is down at the moment, which we'll talk about in a little while. But the recap of last Wednesday is there up in your O-Founders back office under the update section. That was there really, really quickly, by the way, on the Wednesday night by our quartet of Dan, Daryl, Janet Butler and Peter Sarer. They do a sterling job, our quartet, of getting that information out to you as soon as possible. And especially for the non-English speaking countries, they can take that, grab it, auto-translate it through Google, and then they can get it out to all of their countrymen in the language that they all understand. So kudos to you guys for doing that. Thursday, then, we did our own take on the updates for that between all of us here to try and break things down. There was a lot of reading between the lines, and Ash actually said, if you were there on Wednesday, good luck to all of you that had to try and decipher what I've said. He was a little bit all over the place, but I hope that we helped as many of you as possible to understand what he was trying to say. And don't forget, when we are reading between the lines of what he is saying, it is our take on it. It's certainly nothing from corporate. He gives us the details and we try and fill them in a little bit to make a little bit more sense out of it for you guys to understand. So Friday then, what happened Friday? Well, we had a very brief message from our COO, Mohammed Kamal, didn't we? Just before the sites went down, and all three sites went down. And this was O-Founders, OES, and also Onpassive.com. And it was a little bit of a shock, to be honest, because we kind of got this message from Mohammed Kamal saying, don't worry, you're going to be offline. We'll bring it back as soon as we possibly can. And we will update you in due course of what is going on and how things are progressing. So that was on Friday the 28th when that all went down. And it went down around about 7 p.m. for us in the UK. And as I said, we had that message from Mohammed Kamal telling us what was going on. Onpassive came back up 24 hours. That came up. Now, again, we have explained this on our lives over the last few days. But if you do get any security alerts popping up when you are logging into onpassive.com, don't worry about it, guys. This is all part of the migration that Ash was telling us on Wednesday. He was explaining about AWS services, which is Amazon, who host not only ours, but many, many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of other people's websites on their cloud-based system that they have. And he was talking about the amount of money that it costs Onpassive on a yearly basis, into the millions. And they wanted to restructure how things were going. And this is why we are seeing what we're seeing now as far as these websites are concerned. Is part of that restructuring, part of bringing the costs to Onpassive down with using AWS services. We can speculate, but let's not do that of what it's all about. So really good news that that is all there. Now, like I said, Onpassive.com came back up again. And Onpassive.com came back up. And if you are getting any security alerts on that, don't worry about it. This is all to do with the SSL certificate that comes along with most websites. This takes a while to filter through. Okay, and that will all get sorted out in due course, so do not worry about it. What else happened then? Like I said, Friday night and into the early hours of Monday, wherever you are, Ash came on Let's O and Minu and Ron's, and he basically was talking about self-development, and if you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect other people to, and know your own worth, and this is your business and all those. But one very important point he did bring out on Let's O was that the reason behind why it went down on Friday, and basically clerical error on AWS services. They came on Saturday for that, which was really good news. On Sunday, then, we had some other news from externally through X that our CMO, Mohammed Nassal, was going to pastures new. He's doing something different outside of Onpassive, and I think we all wish him well in his new venture. This is quite normal, guys, in business, especially at this level that these guys are. He's been with us for 2 years, and he's done a fantastic job for Onpassive behind the scenes, doing what he's doing within the marketing department. But he put a note out to say that he is leaving, doing his own thing separately from Onpassive, and we all wish him well in his new endeavors. Whether that position is going to be refilled, we don't know. Obviously, I'm sure that we will find out more in the coming days, weeks, and months as far as that is concerned. And the last piece of news, obviously, because we haven't got a back office and we haven't got ecosystem at the moment, is I want to keep on pushing this home to as many people as possible of oimedia.news. That's there at the moment. And if this is all about the industry, the artificial intelligence tech industry that's out there at the moment. It is a fantastic source of information about what really is going on there at the moment in real time in the industry. And it does a really good job of breaking it down into language that we can all understand, that we can get our head around about the different companies and really how they are all jostling, I suppose, for a piece of the AI pie. One thing's for sure is the more you read about it and the more you get to understand about artificial intelligence and the solutions behind AI and tech, the more you get to understand exactly how well positioned Onpassive as a company is within this industry. We tick an awful lot of the boxes that people are looking for at the moment. So kudos to our CEO, kudos as well to Onpassive and everyone behind the scenes who have put this together as well. We are positioned extremely well, but I use it as a source of information on a daily basis, and I would recommend that you guys do as well. Anyway, that's it for now. Back to you, Chris.
Well, thank you very much, Red. Thank you very much, Marty. And on behalf of the Johnson family, I want to wish all Americans a happy 4th of July. Yes, this is coffee, no alcohol. I'm blessed to live in this country. I love America. I've also been blessed to visit many countries through the internet or travel. And you're all beautiful. Don't let anyone forget that. Real quick for me, I think for me right now, when O Connect went down, I was like, oh, no. And then I realized, man, what did Ash tell us to do? He said, go about your life. Go have some fun. Let me do all the work. So I scheduled this little fishing trip here. I have my family up north. We left early this morning to be on at 12, and that was changed, and that's okay. I brought my boat, my RV, which I've never done that before. It turned out great. Saturday, we got a big 4th of July party, which is going to be a lot of fun at one of the marinas around here. And I'm thinking the shining on light, we're not going to do it until O Connect comes back on. So it freed me up a lot of time. And this is what I'm doing. I'm following Ash's direction. Again, Chris, go do something, have some fun, go to work, go fishing, and let me keep doing all this work. And Ash Mafara, that's exactly what I'm doing. Of course, one day I know we'll all be going fishing together. It'll be a lot of fun. But I come back to I would like to say just a quick shout out to Angie Hahn. It is her birthday today, Angie from Germany. God bless you. Happy birthday. And there's another one, Jan. I can't think of her last name. Real nice lady. And hold on. Wait a minute. I can fix that. Hold on. Jane Helms. I'm sorry. And Jane Helms, happy birthday. Toy Chung. RD Jeswell from India, happy birthday. MD Balat, happy birthday to all of you. I love saying birthdays. I never get tired of doing that. I never get tired of picking somebody up and making them feel good, because right now, maybe one of those individuals have no one around them to tell them happy birthday. So I'm telling you, in front of 1,000 people, happy birthday to you. The names I mentioned, blow them up. Give them some love. That's what we do when I'm passive. And then I think about big prayer that I do every morning. Everyone knows I love to pray about many countries right now in this world that are in disarray. Bad things happening, wars. And I don't care who you are, or where you live, or what your nationality is. I pray for everybody. I pray that these wars stop. I still believe in my heart that Onpassive is going to change a lot of things in the world. I'm hoping that's one of them, because only in Onpassive, and I'll say it again, only in Onpassive has the world globally come together in Onpassive to change things, where people that weren't talking to each other 4 years ago are now our best friends, are waiting for them to come to their country so they can break bread with them for the first time. That's when someone asks, what's Onpassive done for you? Hey, that's more than I can ever ask. That's worth trillions of dollars to me, to watch the world come together when it's really falling apart. But in Onpassive, our world is phenomenal. It's bright. The future looks bright. And I'm going fishing, and Ash Mafar is working. So I always can bounce on that. I think it's the greatest company in the world that I've ever seen, because it's all about good and heart. And we talk about that heart all the time. And whether you believe me or not, and I think you do, Ash Mafar is a stand-up guy in my book. I consider him one of my closest friends. He gives me advice sometimes when I'm missing something, and I love that. So does Marty and Red. If I'm missing something, they say, Chris, straighten your hat. Your hat's backwards or whatever. But this is what we do in Onpassive. We take that love and we take that passion, and we go on webinars, and we do the same thing. We want to pick people up. Shining the light is just a great thing. I get time off from it right now. Yee! Perfect time for that one. Am I happy? Oh, connects? No, but it happens. Hey, man, I was in the auto industry for 32 years. You have no idea what really happens in business. Big business, little business. Sometimes parts aren't made. One time we had a fire in a plant, and it shut us down for 6 months. Actually, they had a plant catching fire, made the chips, and everyone knows what happens with that. All right. It messed up the auto industry for at least 4 years, and it's still affecting them. So it's one of those things. But in Onpassive, Ash Mafar keeps going. He is doing everything possible to make us happy. It's really not about him. And he said it many a times. It's not about the money. It's just about changing people, helping people. I worked for Fords for a long time. I never heard the CEO come down and say, Chris, we got to better people. We got to lift people up, not tear them down. And that's what we do. Now that we come across a few people that want to tear us down every single day, and you're not winning. Okay. We rock. We rock it in Onpassive. We're going to rock the world. We're going to change the world. And I've got 1,400,000 people that are going to fly those beautiful angel wings, and we're going to change things, and more to come. I texted Ash a couple weeks ago, and I said, just wanted to let you know there's millions of people that really love you, and there's billions more coming. All right. Because of you people, those billions more are going to come. Because of Ash Mafar's marketing strategies and campaigns, trillions are going to come. And that's my opinion. But I believe that with my heart, and you're part of it. Think about it. I'm going to go have a great time for the next 5 or 6 days, because unless he pops on Oak Connect, then I got to go back to work. But I'm going to enjoy myself thoroughly. I know what's coming. Ash has said this so many times. I got this. Just let me do the work. Just watch and let it happen. And that's what I tell people. The people in my family or my friends, Chris, ain't never going to work. I said, that's my words. Watch what happens. I don't want to say I told you so. I'm not going to say eat those words. I'm going to keep going down the path looking for the greatest, brightest, smartest, most giving people in the world. And that's what we do as Onpassivians. If that's even a word, I don't know, but someone may, it's better than UKians, but it's better than anything. But that's what we do. We love to laugh. We love to cheer. We love to cheer on others. We love to know the fact that there's one guy and amazing teams he has that works every single day for all of us. And a lot of you still don't understand that. Let me say it again. There's one guy. Let me say there's one family. How about that? And he's got an amazing teams, and they're working every single day so our lives get brighter and brighter and brighter. And when that happens, you're going to see the light bulb. You heard about the light bulb moment? No. You're going to be looking directly in the sun because you're going to be shining with smiles and tears of joy because that's how great this company is. This company has taken the world to a whole different level. Do I believe in outer space? Yeah, I think someday Ash Mafar is going to do something. I don't know what, but he's always full of surprises. I have 100% faith, just like these two guys do, in Ash Mafara and what he's doing. And no matter what he says, I listen to him. I stay with what he says. I get people sending me this and that. Don't even send it to me. I don't even read them. Well, I read them, but I just laugh at them. Ash Mafara is doing something phenomenal for this world. He's not a politician, excuse me. He's not a politician. Never claimed to be a businessman. He's not an educator, but yet together, he takes all those little pieces there and he makes them that much better. I think he's a great educator. He's taught us all a lot of good things about no matter what they throw at you, you got to keep going. No matter how many times you get knocked down, you really got to get back up. That's on each one of us. But in this company, he's the one that gets knocked down. He's the one that gets kicked and punched and jabbed. And we get a little bit because we're loudspeakers, but we handle it very well. Why? Because we know Ash Mafar is on our side. That's a definite sure. So I want to say to all of the founders out there in America, anywhere else to celebrate, happy 4th of July to you. I'm very thankful to God that I became part of this company. I'm thankful to God that he gives me the voice and the knowledge to say things even that are silly. But my God, Onpassive is a God-fearing, loving, giving, any good word you can think of. That's what Onpassive is. Marty DeGarmo, back to you. I think I scared him. You're muted, Marty. Marty, you're muted.
Well, you told me to mute for 10 minutes, okay? So I mute. Now you're done. You're muted. You're muted. Listen, Chris, I just word of advice. If you're going fishing, you got to calm down a little bit. You're going to scare them right out of the freaking water, all right? Anyway, hey, Chris, can you introduce this gentleman?
Oh, here comes one of my favorite brothers in the whole world. I love him.
One of.
He's one of them. You guys are the other two, but he goes first. Sorry, but what a smile. He's looking good. His hair is almost perfect like mine. And he's a great guy, and he's full of humor as much as he is love. So, Ash Mafara, welcome to 4th of July in America. God bless you and your family for everything you're going through and what you're going through and what you're completing and what you're finishing. Ash Mafara, the stage is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you for taking me in today. I actually wanted to be here because we want to make sure we are kept in the loop while many things are happening on different avenues. First of all, happy 4th of July, which means Independence Day in America. And guess who we got independence from? It's a test for everybody in the chat.
Don't say UK. You don't say the UKian people. Don't say it.
Well, Great Britain. Okay, so I already gave it away. So as they did for mostly everyone. So somebody, because we are independent in that aspect, politically, historically, it is true. But to be more realistic, we still have some reliance and we have some dependency on other factors of our life. Some external dependence Uh, yeah, of course, some of it political and some of it economical, and perhaps we do have internal uh, or within. So we're not fully independence, therefore not fully liberated. We don't have that 100% total freedom, though the 330 million people who live within the United States of America, they somewhat have some boundaries, restrictions, and their uh, aspects of life, uh, and that steals that ultimate freedom we want to achieve. I want to go back to something that I always wanted to achieve, not just for the 330 million people who live here in our country, but also abroad. The 8 billion, there are not many trillions, uh, Chris. There are just 8 billion who are alive as of now. And we hope in at some point in our life we will give them more freedom, more liberty of those restrictions and frictions in life. It all begins with an economical strength that if we are successfully able to provide that to different societies and communities, perhaps it draws many more aspects in our life. So oh boy, the more we grow, go back to Onpassive now, the more we grow, the more we learn how much we don't know. And the more we learn that how much we still have to grow and how much we still have to learn. Every day is a good lesson in our life. I've learned a lot from you and dealing with you. Not necessarily you gave me that direct piece of knowledge or information, but you put me in a position to strive or to seek that knowledge and pursue for more information. So collectively, this environment is healthy for growth to all of us. So keep up the good work, and you should stay connected. You're just gonna learn, and life is a waste if you are not learning something new every day. And again, I have a bit, if you allow me, there's a small story. You want to hear it? So there was a uh, little girl. Okay, she have mastered the timetable, uh, and she thought she's probably the ultimate mathematician on the planet because now she knows all the numbers until 12. 12 by 12, that's it. And now she is talking to her grandpa that, listen, I am the best mathematician on earth. And he said, well, perfect. So how much do you know? Well, I mastered all the way until 12. He said, well, what about 13 by 13? Grandpa, there's no such a thing. Well, there is. Now it's infinite. Uh, you still have way to grow, little girl. Okay. And that's exactly how it applies on the various uh, aspects in our life. You know, you think you've mastered something, um, then you realize there's still way to go. Okay, thank you. You give it 10 out of 10. Okay, I know you're a nerd. Okay, uh, because it involves math. Then we thought we are perfecting those different elements in our business, then you realize no, there's still a long way to go, and there are better ways, and it's more practical to admit that. I am up for it. We made mistakes. We had challenges, internal, external. Plus, we could have done things different. But all in all, that never shakes up our intention that we want to do good. We want to better, your lifestyle. So, in order to have some independence, I invite everybody not to completely rely on any business, whether it's on passive or uh, the White House, if you wish, that works for you. You still have to do your own work to be independent. And your happiness does not rely on somebody else's success. They can improve, they can make your life much easier, they can give you a lot of access, but no matter how perfect it is, if you're thinking that is what's going to make you successful, whether it's Onpassive or Chris or Ash or the government or the system, no, nothing is going to give you that independence until you are mentally independent and also take those measures in your life, not to rely on anybody else. Take that as a tool. Take that. I always